What is going on, guys? Joey Franz here at Flex Training Systems, and today I have like one of the I guarantee for I want to say 40% of you, this is gonna help you. This is what you're missing. This is the missing link. This is why you're not hitting the numbers you want. This is why you're not, um, performing the way that the way that you want to. This is why you're having bad days in the gym. So you start to scramble and you're changing your program. Maybe you panic and you start to blame other things. You start to blame other people for your lack of accountability. And we're going to help you. We're going to help you through that right now. Okay? So, what do we have going on right here? Right here, as you guys can see, I have some days and I have some things that you should know before you can come up with any kind of expectation, um, or any numbers, or before you can even begin to be disappointed in yourself for not performing. You need to understand the things that we have in front of us. Now, before we get into this, and I will mention it again at the end, there are some people that they're not going to know any of this stuff. They're going to give like 75% to all these areas, and they're going to do way better than most people because they are made of genetic material that is going to allow them to do that. So this is probably not for those people, but I promise you, if those people take this stuff into account, even if it's just a little bit, right? Like I imagine, like in each one of these little sections, right? Let's say like this is 100%. This is 100% filled blue box, right? And you know maybe some people have filled up here, some people a little bit more here, down there. You see what I'm trying to paint here, right? If you could fill in all the spaces and hit all these marks, then you're going to be getting the most out of your training. You can really start to predict your training. You'll know what you're going to hit on meet day. You're going to have a lot less questions. You're going to understand good days. You're going to understand bad days. Your chances of getting injured are going to be a lot less, and you're going to be able to adjust your training in a way that's going to allow you to be successful, right? So we want to fill in this blue box. Forget all this stuff right now. We just want to fill in this blue box, and each little column, it's like you have like levels, right? Maybe food is all the way filled out. Maybe sleep is like halfway, something like that. So I'm gonna help you fill out the whole blue box. You're gonna fill it out, and then once you're operating 100% on everything, then you're gonna getting the most out of your training. These variables can be the difference between an entire additional day of training, right? Maybe you're thinking about squatting 3 times a week. This happens a lot. People, they want to try to get more out of their squats, but they don't have, especially these two first ones in line. Um, and if you don't have those in line, there's no way you're going to tolerate a third day. So, you got to have all this stuff down before you can give 100% to your powerlifting. Now, granted, some people, um, and, as I begin to break this down, we will bring this up. And, this is just going to help me kind of further explain each one as I go. But as we begin to break this down, then you guys will kind of see what I mean. Be a little bit more specific and show you, what exactly you should be sort of tracking. And then, it may look daunting at first, like what the heck, I don't want to do all that. I mean, hey, there are some people that really take care of this stuff, and it really shows in their training. So that being said, excuse my yawn. So yeah, let's go through it. So this is just a chart that I just made up, but you could do it any way you want. I'm sure some of you guys can frame it better. Um, but we have Monday through Sunday, and then we have the things that you should be checking. We call it the Big Five, right? And let's say in the first little section, you just have like actual, right? So we're gonna write our actual, like our goal, what we should be getting, and then in the next one we're gonna write, what we're actually doing. And you only need to do this once. You don't need to write it for every day. But like, let's say for example, under food, there's macros, right? So carbs, fat, and protein. Um, I'm not actually gonna do that. I'm just gonna write like calories because we're just gonna do protein and calories, right? Just super simple, super easy. Let's say you want 200 grams of protein a day, and you're supposed to get 2,500 calories, right? That's your goal, and then let's say you've been getting. I kid you not, there's people that, let's say these are the requirements, they're getting like 100, right? And maybe they're doing that, right? That's really bad. That's really, really, really bad. So you definitely want to tighten it up. Going from here to here is gonna dramatically help your body composition already. If you're one of these people, you're eating more than you should be, and you're not eating enough protein. I mean, I'm telling you right now, like literally just by getting this in check, it's gonna help you a shit ton, right? Maybe as the days go on, I mean, we really only need one space in between here, right? As the days go on, you start to get it together, you know, and maybe you're doing this now. Really, it should be immediate, but I understand, it's hard for people, right? So we're slowly gonna try to end up like this, and then, just for the sake of the way that it looks, right? And now you're at least on point with calories, right? So even though we're not perfect, we're not at our target, you're gonna be this guy's gonna be doing a lot better than this guy, right? And then let's say you finally get it together. What the heck? You finally get it together, and now you're on point, right? Took you a couple of days, but now you're on point. Boom. There you go. This is now okay. You're getting enough protein. You're eating enough. This is, let's say, for this imaginary individual. This is just for someone that can. This is gonna help them maintain their weight, eat enough protein to recover from training, and maybe even tighten up a little bit in terms of like body composition, right? Um, yeah. So now sleep, same thing. Let's say our goal is let's just make it 8 to 10 hours, right? 7.5, right? Obviously we have different things going on in the day. There's a lot of different things that are gonna affect. They're gonna affect our, just the way that we sleep. And let's say you're one of these people, right? You're just not paying attention to shit. You're just staying up late. You're really social. You live in an environment that would inhibit your sleep. And then let's say over time, you know, you start to make some changes, right? Um, what the heck? And then eventually, now you're doing this, right? Again, this guy is gonna be doing. Okay, I guess I can't do it. This guy's gonna be doing a lot better than the first guy, right? Sleep is huge. It's so important. It's like astronomically important. And I definitely think it's something that people need to. Um, you just need it. You absolutely need to sleep. So you gotta move your day around, do what you have to do in order to, make it happen. So now, for energy expenditure, let's say your goal is, I mean, if you guys know, I mean, if you guys can see Tina back there, she recently posted that she wanted to hit 100K steps in a week. We're not gonna go with that because that's a shit ton. And just for simplicity's sake, we're just gonna do 70,000, right? Because 70,000, they can't hear you. But yeah, 70,000. Set 10,000 steps a day. Let's say you're a lot smaller than me. I would like lose weight on that. Um, but let's just say our goal is 8K, right? Our goal is 8K. We want to hit that every day, and initially, I don't know, you're doing like you could be like me and you're doing like this, right? Um, so this is going to depend on the person. You don't necessarily need to have a goal for this one. This one, you just need to know what it is because you can know what your average is and then how it affects, what you're doing in the gym. So, for example, if normally like you're a student in school and you have to walk around campus and you take 8K steps a day, and that is like something that's not really going to change, except maybe on the weekends you don't take those steps. Um, you can expect, okay, so like if I'm the coach, I know that my lifter Monday through Friday is going to be taking an additional 8K steps, um, on top of their training, they're going to have an additional 8K form, quantifiable integer or number or whatever of extra energy expenditure. I know that Saturday, Sunday, they're not going to have that. They're going to be a lot lower. So we can create an expectation based on this right here. This is gonna really affect everything, right? So if you're going ham here, right? Like let's say, so let's say you try to like you start walking more. So now you're hitting 5K. You're getting a little bit better at it. And then you get really good at it. And then now you're doing that. And then on these days you're resting, right? So you're just I don't know. You're taking like 3K around the house, right? You're just chilling. I can literally plan around this, right? If I know that these are going to be your beefy days where you're going to be moving a lot more. I mean, this is not that much, but I literally have people that take 30,000 steps a day. Like I have a guy that's a mailman. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy. It didn't even make sense. I don't even know how you do that. But anyway, this is very important for determining, where you should end up. Um, and I think it's very valuable to track it. For a lot of people, they're not gonna, like I said, they probably don't need to track this, but I would do it. I mean, if you have, it could be as simple as me just saying, "Hey yo, like, what was this week like?" And then you tell me, "Oh, it's normal. I went to the gym, I trained, I came home." Okay, cool. Or it's like, it doesn't need to be written out like this. It could just be like, for example, um, I just had like when Russ was setting up the gym and he had to put down the black floor mats, or when Amanda had to move all her training stuff um, into her garage or shed or whatever. Like I know that those are extra things that are gonna stress them out in a way that could potentially affect training. So I'm kind of like, all right, we're gonna be, I'm gonna be tentative. I'm gonna see what happens, right? So yeah, this is really important. I cannot tell you that enough. You guys need to really be on these two. All three of these are important. They're all like want bigger total. It's not your program. It's this right here. I kid you. I kid you not. Any coach, any coach, like that has been remotely relevant to the point where they can sort of build a reputation in the powerlifting community. If they show up at nationals, if they have lifters competing, if they seem to be progressing over time and they're loyal to the people, whatever, they're gonna have decent programming. It's gonna be like good enough. You know what I mean? Granted, there's gonna be complicated scenarios, and that's when you start to see little weaknesses here and there between like individual coaches. But that's like another thing. Like a lot of programming out there. I mean, how many of us post our stuff? It's gonna be somewhat decent, right? So I think you can really separate yourself from the pack by tracking these things. Now, stress. I mean, how do we quantify stress? I mean, you could do a scale 1 to 10, right? So let's say I want to be around a 1 to 4. That's my what the heck was that? 1 to 4. I want to be anywhere from a 1 to 4, right? And if I go above that, I mean, this one's kind of hard, right? But let's say your daily stress is, I don't know, like a 2, right? I don't really stress out. My stress is like a 1 to 2, maybe a 3. Around nationals time, it's like an 11, but it's I like it. I'm actually addicted to stress. Anyway, so 2, that's your normal 2, right? Maybe you have a test coming up, and it goes to like a 6, and it's 6. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously this would affect other things. That should be there. This maybe this is like a 5. What the hell is going on? Okay, yeah. But let's say, you're studying during the week or whatever, so you're gonna have a little bit higher days of stress and whatnot. And then just for like I don't know, you get in a car accident, you've never been in a car accident before, and you freak the fuck out, and your shit is like a 10, right? You're stressed out. Maybe you even miss a training day. Obviously, I made these before I thought of this, so these numbers would be affected. I don't expect these things to stay on point when this is up. This could throw everything out, right? And then maybe the next day you're still stressed about it. You come down to a 7. So these are things to take into account as well. Um, you know, 10 is like girlfriend breaks up with you, you get in a car accident, somebody dies in the family, You're dealing with something you're not used to dealing with, and I say that way because I believe that we can train ourselves to handle all sorts of stress in a way that won't affect us from thinking the way we need to in order to be successful, right? And it's just a level of training. Everyone in life, they kind of go through these. It's a level of experience that you gain that allows you to handle the real world, right? So when I meet someone and they're very immature and dumb and they're just being ignorant, I just think to myself, that person hasn't gone through the life lessons to show them that maybe this isn't the way that they want to act, or that person, they stress out a lot over something that isn't really a big deal. It's like literally, it's gonna pass. They shouldn't be, they shouldn't be panicking over this. They haven't gained the experience in order to keep that stress down, right? You want to be like the top villain in a good anime, right? You want to be like Thanos, right? For example. He's calm, he's chill, he knows what he needs to do. He doesn't panic, he doesn't freak out. There are times when he's like, "Oh shit, I need to be on my toes." But, he's very calm and collected. He knows what he's doing. He's like about to do this huge giant thing and he doesn't let it affect him, which would normally stress anybody out, right? Obviously, taking over the fucking universe. Anyway, but yeah, so just know when it comes to stress, I mean, I'm not a therapist or anything, and I know everybody goes through their shit, but it usually isn't as bad as you think, and you're gonna get through it. And you have to always think this kind of helps because people like to compare, right? There's somebody out there that went through something worse than what you're going through, and they got through it, and they're thriving. So if they can do it, you can do it. It's all been done before. I know it's easier said than done. Whatever. Um, Okay, now the tricky one, top singles, top sets. This is going to depend on the person. How do we create a goal, right? How do we create an expectation? I mean, I'm honestly cautious to write something here, and I almost didn't put this category up. Um, so I have this here. I kind of already went through this stuff. Um, Energy expenditure, sleep, food, whatever. Okay, so training, top singles, and top sets. I would more so you know, this is going to change day to day, so you might need to add another column for this. But let's say, um, your goal was like a single. Your goal is like a single out of an eight, and with, really, you don't even have to say goals. I think that's the best way to go about this one. Is you're just like writing it down. Write down what the weight was, and what RPE was it, and then you create a trend, and that becomes valuable information. You can see how those numbers are reflected by what you're doing over here. You can start to recognize patterns. You can create a map. Over time, you will create you will be able to predict the future. You will gain foresight. You will literally be able to take these different scenarios, learn how they interact with each other. I'm literally telling you how to be the best. I'm literally telling you. I'm literally telling you right now. So listen. Okay, you can take these things, you start to create a map, you see how they interact with each other, and then you can create expectations for your top singles that are they're actually practical and reasonable. Um, most people, like literally most lifters, they have not earned the right to have that expectation. They have not earned the right to say, I need to hit this today. You can't say that because you don't know any of these things and you haven't done it long enough to even know, what you should want. Yes, you can have a number in your head. You know, yes, you can like want to do things, but how many times do people literally go in the gym and like how many times you guys seen those memes of when you come in and you lift a weight and it wasn't as fast as you wanted? Of course, because you're always going to want more depending on your personality, right? Some people are very calm and collected. They're going to come up with realistic numbers. They're going to have a lot of experience. They're going to know what they're doing. They're going to reach a point where their training does not make this number go up at all. Whatever they do in the gym, this number is not going to go up based on the day that they have, right? Um, so you're literally just writing things down, right? You're just writing things down, right? Uh, you're just trying to get an idea of like how things are going, right? And you're painting a picture. Uh, right? These numbers have nothing to do with these numbers. I don't know. Maybe you're very emotionally charged from this day, and then you utilize it on that day. I don't know. But yeah, You guys get what I'm saying? What the heck? I'm missing numbers here. Yeah. But this is just all information that you should have an idea of for, you know what I mean? You should know that stuff. If you're going to get mad about your training and want to blame people and whatnot, but you don't know these things, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're just dumb. That's really dumb. That's so stupid. That's actually absurd. But if you're young and you don't know any better, it's okay. We learn from those mistakes and you get better. Okay? Now, um what are we talking about? Oh, so in training, so I have top singles there, but there's some other things that you should want to keep an eye on or pay attention to. By the way, guys, this is literally turning out to one of the most valuable videos I've ever made. So, I mean, go ahead and drop that like, share it around, tell your homies about it. Um, this is a very valuable video. I feel like I should not post this and show it to my stream, but I'll just post it anyway. Anyway, did we change the split? Was there a big change in your equipment? So are you a sumo deadlifter that pulls on pounds and bumpers and then you got kilos and now you're slow from the floor and that's affecting your numbers? I just had that happen with someone recently. Um, did you have to go to a different gym and use a bar that has no knurling? Did we change the training split? Are you used to the split yet? What time of the day do you train? Tina brought this one up. What time of the day do you train? If you train at 5 p.m. every day, and you have to do something the next day, so you train at 6 a.m. the next day, obviously you're not going to be that strong the morning of if you're only giving yourself a couple hours to recover from what you just did, especially if it's training the same muscle groups, right? Granted, I've seen crazy shit where you could do things back to back and sometimes it shows up, but that is a complicated subject which we save for meet day tapers and things like that. So what time of day do you train? Like it is absolutely mind-boggling. Like let's say you deadlift on a Thursday at 10 p.m. and you have to train the next day at 6 a.m. and you got to hit squats because you can't do it on the weekend or whatever, and you have a bad training day and you let that training day affect your mentality, that is that is nuts. That is crazy, guys. Seriously, that is seriously nuts. Like chill. That is not even a big deal. You literally within the last 12 hours, you know why that day sucked. You know it. You literally know it. You cannot let that affect your mindset, right? Did we add any new additional movements? Meaning, did we add uh freaking accessories? If I throw in a freaking front squat and I'm having you do sets of 8, that's gonna break you down. That's gonna take away from your other stuff, right? That's why I don't do that. I do add fronts, but not like that. Anyway, do we add new movements? Adding in conventional, super invasive movement, right? Adding in, um, any kind of heavy compound lift could potentially take away from your comp lifts. And now the person that's doing the program, they have to understand when this is appropriate and when this isn't. So you should, you gotta make sure whoever you're getting your program from, or if you're doing it, that you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just gonna ruin everything, right? And like training can affect all these other things too, right? If you're doing infinity billion pounds of volume, tons of volume, this number can't probably won't even ever be high enough. This number can't be high enough. This number can't be low enough. This number can't be low enough. There's just no way you're going to be able to recover from it. Obviously, that's an extreme example, but training obviously needs to keep these things in mind. There's a relationship between, what you're literally able to recover from and, what you're actually doing. Now, I will say this. If you need to recover from more than what you're capable of doing because you're old, because your life is not allowing you to do this, um, because you do not have the genetic potential, which is very rare. I mean, most people can make great progress in the gym. I would say for the amount of 1 in a million, incredibly strong, like, whoa, this guy's so insane lifters there's the equivalent of people that just don't respond to lifting. Maybe a little more, but they just don't respond, and that's why they're not powerlifters. They just like literally they lift all they want, manage all these things, and they're not really gonna see a gain. They're not really gonna see a progress to it. But that's like such a rare thing. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Anyway, um, yeah. Did we add new movements? Your training environment? Are you training at home? Are you training with people around you? Are you hyped up and excited to train, or are you, I don't know. Are you sad? Are you at home with nobody there? Are you not listening to music because your headphones break? Um, Are you stressed out at the gym because you have to wipe everything down and wear a mask? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different things that can affect this. Like I know for a fact my I probably spelled this wrong looking at it. You guys know me. You guys get it. Um, there's people that I know right now, especially bodybuilders, that do a lot better when they're training in an environment with a lot of people. They're just a lot. I mean, I don't know. They get motivation from people watching them, and it just really fires them up, and they want to kind of impress people. You know what I mean? They feed off the energy and whatnot. So that's something they could take into consideration. These are all like they're very important, but like if you're this guy, I mean, it don't matter where you train, brother. You're not gonna be pushing any type of weight. Um, but yeah, if you handle all these things, you can come up with an expectation. Okay. Um, and again, like I said in the beginning of the video, some people are going to be able to get away with it. Others are not. Um, they say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, but when talent works hard, it's game over. I mean, that's true. I don't know how anyone can dispute that. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys got the gist of this video. Okay, the gist of this video is like this. Like I said, this is like I'm literally telling you guys what you need to do um, to be the best, to be your best self. Right? Coming up with these goals, you need someone that knows what they're doing um, to help you figure that out, or you can come to that conclusion over time. You don't need to be super. I would say most people, if they were to actually write it down like this and figure it out, I mean, I don't see why wouldn't you improve? You could literally only get better. You don't need to do this though. Like I said, if you're getting this number slightly above, slightly below, you're probably going to be okay. This number slightly above, slightly below, you're probably going to be okay, depending on your goals. I mean, it really depends, right? There's always an extreme you can take it to. Now, 8 hours is just a recommendation. I don't even know. I don't even know what the like. Everybody's different, right? Some people are gonna sleep a shit ton of hours. Like I know people that literally sleep 12 hours a day. I don't fucking know how they do that, but they do it consistently. If they sleep 10 hours, they feel groggy. That's weird. I don't know. But that's some people. Everybody's different. Everybody has different requirements. This number is probably gonna be all over the place for a lot of people. Um, you know, this is something to keep into consideration. I would say that this is really going to be useful for people that have kind of short-term memory when it comes to lifting. Meaning like this could be a 10 on like a Monday, and then it's like Thursday, and they forget about the 10. They forget about all this, right? You can't forget about this. This is gonna affect this. So yeah. Um, let's get a hashtag be the best in the comments down below. Hashtag be the best in the comments down below. Um, this is a topic that I feel very versed on. So as you guys could probably tell by the energy in this video, that I was kind of flying through it. I feel very passionate about this. I think this is the missing link for a lot of people. Again, this is just an example, but it's a lot easier said than done. This is really going to help you just get there. Now, I mean, you don't have to write it like this. You could this you got to track, right? This you should probably know just based on how you feel. Just, this is not hard to track. There's apps you can download. You can get a Fitbit. You can there's apps on your phone you can get for both of these. For this one too, the Steps app, right? There's a lot of different apps. Um, this is just going to be how you feel based on your personality and whatnot, and how you interact with your environment. And this, I mean, if you're posting your singles on Instagram, you don't really need to track this. There you go. You just put it up and document your journey that way. But yeah, hashtag be the best in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much. I have 2 more podcasts coming this week. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be really interested in one of them. If you made it this far, though, you are a real one. Let's be the best. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.